your at-home gel manicures aren't lasting you more than a couple of days, stick around. I'm gonna teach you how to fix that fast and address the common mistakes made. Also, this is a tutorial with no e-file. This is DIY friendly, so no electrical tools over here. Unless you do extensive research on how to use an e-file, you're best off just using manual tools. And this manicure that I'm showing you in the video actually has 8 days of wear already with 0 signs of lifting or chipping. I prefer a push tool that has a slant like this. With this, you want to do a lifting up type of motion. Now, not everyone's proximal fold is going to be able to be opened up so much, but the point is just to lift it to be able to remove the cuticle from underneath it. Now, once you have it lifted, it is time to remove the dead skin off of the nail plate. With this tool, you're going to want to keep it parallel to the nail and do short scraping motion, but do not apply too much pressure because even this tool can do some serious damage. Do you see all of this white stuff flaking off? That is dead skin, and that is what we want to remove from the natural nail plate, because whenever you put that base coat on there, having that in between the natural nail and your base coat is going to prohibit the base coat from working properly. And if you're not removing cuticle, that is the first mistake you're making in your at-home manicure. We're not just removing cuticle near the proximal fold, you also want to go into the lateral folds, the sides of the nail. Once that is done, then we're going to go in with a file or buffer and rough up the surface of the natural nail plate. I use the 100 grit for this tutorial. Pressure is key when you're doing nail related things. Most of the time we're going in with very light pressure. So if you have a heavy hand, use the softer side. Whenever we are roughing up the surface of the natural nail, we want to get into every nook and cranny. The abrasion that we're creating on this surface is going to help the base coat stick to the natural nail. If the surface is too smooth and shiny, the product just won't work correctly. Now, the second mistake that you're probably making with your at-home manicures is that you're not drying out the nail plate. Even though we have visibly roughed up the surface, there's probably oils still on the natural nail plate. So what we want to do is remove those oils. The best way to do that is with acetone and a lint-free wipe. Or if you don't have that and you have isopropyl alcohol instead, it's still better than nothing. Do you see whenever I wipe the surface with this acetone, it visibly dries out within milliseconds. That's what you want your nail plate to look like before you apply base coat. Now it's time for base coat. Right here, what I'm trying to show you is that you need to scrape off a little bit of the product whenever you pull the brush out of the bottle. Too much will flood your skin. Too little will prevent the gel polish from adhering correctly. And just like how we were buffing the natural nail, every nook and cranny, that is the same thing with your base coat, especially on the free edge of your nails. Pull back the skin if you have to, and just make sure you get every single part of the nail. Because wherever you put gel polish that the base coat isn't sitting, that's Lift City Central, babe. Then you're gonna cure for whatever time the instructions tell you to cure it for. Now it's time for your gel polish application, and that is the same thing. Do not just pull the brush out of the bottle and go straight in. That is too much product and you're just going to flood your finger, okay? You wanna go in with a thin, even coat of gel polish, no matter the brand that you're working with. You want to get as close to the cuticle as you can without touching, and that applies to the sidewalls as well. Then you're going to cure for whatever time it tells you to cure for, and then go in with your second coat. Again, an even and thin coat. And with this second coat, you should reach maximum opacity for your color. And if you're not, you need to switch to a different brand because 3 coats, too much work. Now it's time for top coat, and it is literally as simple as the base coat and the polish. You're just going to go right on over top of the cured polish, and it's very easy to flood the sidewalls or the cuticle with something like a top coat because it has a very low viscosity. Most top coats are going to be thin. Maybe opt for a higher viscosity top coat. Then after you cure your top coat for whatever time it tells you to cure it for, then you go in with a finish file. Go in with a little file on the free edge of the nail, and that just locks in the natural nail to the base coat, to the polish, to the top coat. It just holds everything together really tight. And then after that, don't you forget to oil your cuticles because they will be dry. That is how you do an at-home manicure that will last you for minimum 8 days, because that's how long I tested this for, potentially like 2 weeks. Anyways, try this out at home. Let me know if it helped you. Okay, bye.